Hey guys, so in today's video I have something a little bit different. I have a come shopping with me and then a haul afterwards, and I've actually already been out to the shops and filmed the footage of the go shop with me, so I'm going to put that in next and then I'll do the haul at the end. But yeah, I got quite a few books. I got 11 books to show you guys, and I went to several different places. I went to QD's, which is Quality Discount Books, which is where I got the most books from. I also went to Poundland, I went to a thrift shop, and I went to The Works. So yeah, I only have footage from QD's, so I'm going to put that in now. And unfortunately I couldn't talk because it's quite busy in the shop. But yeah, I managed to show a few of the books, and if you see any books in there in that footage that I didn't pick up that you would recommend to me or you thought looked good, then let me know and I might go back and get them. So yeah, I'm going to show you that footage and then I will show you the books that I got. Okay, so now you've seen the books that I saw in that book bin. Everything was kind of just chucked into this one bin. They had some shelves, which I also did film, but unfortunately it was on a different device and I can't transfer the footage, which is annoying. But if you like these videos, then let me know and I will do some more of them. But yeah, all the books are just kind of chucked in there. So some of the books are a bit battered, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the ones that I picked up in QDs, which is the footage that I showed you. And then I will go on to the other shops. So if you saw, I had shown they had some James Herbert books, and I was looking to get these books. I actually found 3 in the end, which I was super excited about. I love James Herbert as a horror writer. I've read a few of his books. I've read The Secrets of Crickley Hall, Ash, The Shrine, and what else, The Haunted, which is a book I actually got from QDs, so I knew they had James Herbert books in there occasionally. And yeah, I was thrilled to get these ones. And I read The Rats. Now, 2 of these books that I'm going to show you here, The Layer. So first off, I got The Layer, and the sticker's a little bit ripped there. And then I got a Domain, these 2 books, and the books in there were 3 for $5, or they were $2.99 each. And I was really happy when I picked these up, because I didn't realise at first. I just saw James Herbert books, okay, I'm definitely going to get them. But these are actually 2 books in the Rats trilogy that I haven't read yet. So like I said, I read The Rats, which I think was actually his first book ever published, and I don't think I've ever done a review of it on this channel, so I might read all 3 books and then do a series review. But yeah, when I picked up Layer and Domain, I didn't realise until I saw the rat on the back of Domain, and then I read the blurbs of both of these, and yeah, they were the next 2 books in the series. So really chuffed about that. So The Rats is basically a horror trilogy about gigantic mutant rats running around London, and they're taking over the city. The first book was very short, and yeah, obviously these are the next 2 in the trilogy. So yeah, mutant white rat has grown and mated, creating offspring of its own image. So yeah, there were like different variants of these rats running around. And it says, yes, foraging for food, bringing it back to their lair. The rats are restless, tormented by the craving that they could not satisfy. So yes, that was The Layer. And the next one, it says, a long dreaded nuclear conflict, a city torn apart, shattered, people destroyed and mutilated beyond hope. And yeah, so it's based about them living. I'll be interested. I'm going to have to reread the first one again, because it's been over 4 years since I read it, but I knew it was a trilogy and I always wanted to pick up the other ones, so really happy I got them. And then the other James Herbert book I got was Fluke, and again I just picked this up on a whim. I saw it was James Herbert, so I knew I was going to pick it up. But when I got home and read the premise, it sounded really cool. It's basically a dog who used to be a human, and it says, he was a stringy mongrel wandering the streets of the city, driven by a ravenous hunger and haunting a quarry he could not define, and but he was something more. Something in the depths of his consciousness was a memory clawing away at the surface, tormenting him, refusing to let him rest, the memory that he had once been a man. So that's going to be awesome. Most of James Herbert's books I read have been more on the like paranormal side, haunting side, aside from The Rats obviously, which is more of like a horror, like creature horror kind of novels. But this sounds like, yeah, it could be a little bit paranormal, a man who gets turned into a dog. So that was awesome. Really chuffed I found those 3. The next book I picked up was The Promise, and I was torn between this one and The Poison Garden, which I think I show in the footage, and I've been umming and ahhing about that book for a long time. I've seen it in there a couple of times and not picked it up. But yeah, that was kind of like about a woman leaving a cult and growing up outside of a cult. So I was kind of torn between that one or this one, but ultimately I went with this one. It's a crime thriller, and it's been a long time since I've read any crime thrillers. That used to be my main love of reading, was crime thrillers, but I haven't read one in a while, and this one sounded interesting. It's about a serial killer who dates his victims before he murders them. So the police detective D.S. Morgan Gray, and I believe this is a series. I'm hoping you don't have to have read the other books to get into this one, but yeah, it's a series, and she is going to act as bait for the serial killer. So it says Imogen is forced to act as bait. Will she get caught up in her own trap? As the search for the killer ramps up, attention falls on one strange new boy in town. So yeah, it sounded interesting. And then it has like a little blurb here, another banger, dangerous thriller, perfect for fans of MJ Aldridge and Karen Slaughter, and I love both those authors. I've read tons of books by those authors. So yeah, when I saw that I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this a go. It's by Katrina Diamond. So yeah, sounded like an interesting thriller. The next one I got was The Apartment by S.L. Gray. Perfect getaway, a complete nightmare. And the cover drew me into this one. It's like bright red with a key. But then I picked up and the premise sounded really, really good. So it's about a couple who are left traumatized when they are their apartment gets broken into and they are brutally attacked. And they get shaken up by this, and they decide to go on a house swap with a couple in Paris that they meet online. And it says, yeah, they think it's going to be like the perfect getaway, but when they get there, it's like a festering apartment. It's all run down. It's really creepy. And they decide to leave and go back to their house. They can't get in contact with the people once they go to France. But when and like creepy things happening in the apartment. But then when they leave Paris and go back to their home, it says they are unable to relax following a series of increasing unsettling events. They decide to return home. But then when they arrive home, neither of them can shake the feeling that something sinister is now in their home. As time passes, Mark is terrorized by a series of unsettling visions. And yes, this sounds really creepy. Like they go through something horrible, like they have home invasion, and obviously that's terrifying. And then they go away and do a house swap with these people, and I just thought it sounded really, really interesting. And it's again blurbed here by R.L. Stein, and it says it's dark and deeply disturbing. Trust me, this tense and frightening piece of horror is not for kids or for the faint-hearted. I'm still shuddering. So I thought I would give that a go. It sounds very, very creepy. I found some really good books. And then the last book I picked up was something a little bit different, and it's The Big Little Wedding of Carlton Square. And this is just, I felt like I've been reading a lot of very intense books recently, and I picked up some pretty intense books, and I've been in the mood, especially as it's getting slightly warmer now. It's getting closer and closer to summer, and I just wanted a book that was light-hearted and I could kind of chill out to. And I've been feeling that for a while and I've not been able to find anything, so I thought, you know, for a cheap price I'll pick this up. It literally says on the back, a funny feel-good rom-com, and I haven't read any of them in a very long time. So I thought, you know, as something to read along as I'm reading these other intense books, it would be nice to have one that I can just, is a bit more of a light-hearted book I can delve into when I want to. So yeah, it's basically about a couple, and the man proposes, they're going to get married, and she wants a low-key wedding, but the groom's mother is expecting like a full-out highbrow guest, you know, big social event. And it says, then there's the fact that her cross-dressing uncle Barbara wants to be the bridesmaid, her best mate Kelly can't stand her husband's best friend, and yeah, it says her dad is too proud to accept any help with the money. And it says, yeah, 3 months until their big day. Will Emma get her happily ever after, or will it end in disaster? And yeah, just a fun rom-com. So yeah, haven't read any of them in a while. Thought I would give it a go. So then I'll move on to, I got 2 books from Poundland, and these were obviously £1. And first off, I picked up Tiger Eyes by Shirley Conrad. I hadn't heard of this author, but apparently she wrote a really popular book called Lace, and I picked this up just because I thought the cover was really interesting. I think it's a really cool cover there. And then I read the premise and it sounded really interesting. I have looked this up on Goodreads. It's very hit or miss. People are saying it's not as good as her book Lace, but I thought it would give it a go. Again, it's another kind of thriller. It says she's happily married to Breeze, so she's married to someone called Breeze, a dangerously attractive transatlantic art dealer. She has 2 wonderful sons, a beautiful home, loyal friends, and their glittering career. But she feels like something is missing. What could she be looking for? Then it says Plum, which is her name, accidentally intercepts an international art fraud scheme. She follows the hazardous trail of forged paintings to New York to Los Angeles to London to Paris. And at the same time, she begins to discover there's a huge price tag to success. Her search to control her own life becomes increasingly threatened. So yeah, it sounded like an interesting premise, like this kind of bored housewife maybe going on the hunt for some dodgy art dealings. I thought it could be interesting, so I thought I would give it a go. Hopefully I will like it, and it was only £1, so I thought why not. Again, with the whole why not theme, I also picked up Velvet, the Black Door, and this was kind of like one of them 50 Shades of Grey knockoff kind of books. It says black is hotter than grey, and I like reading these books occasionally. Normally when I'm going to read like porno books, I tend to go more along the fantasy genre. I have an author called Shirley who I absolutely love. I have a book review coming up of hers. I've read a few of her books, but I'm going to start doing her entire series, starting from the beginning. So yeah, I've got reviews coming up of her books soon, which is very much adult fantasy. But every now and then these books are fun to read. I have read 50 Shades of Grey. I actually found it pretty boring. I couldn't really get into it. I read the first book and then halfway through the second one, and then I was like, oh, by the time it came to the last one, I think I just gave them all away in the end. I did have them, but yeah, I found them boring. But this one, you know, it's a short little book and it had an interesting premise. It says Ariel is a high-powered attorney and a partner at her firm, dating one of the most eligible bachelors in New York City. She is living the high life, but her sex life is taking a hit. It's at a low point. Then there is a hot young escort introduces her to the Black Door Club, and her best friend encourages her to try it out. There she finds a fantasy playground for women, full of every obsession and erotic temptation a girl could dream of. Soon she meets a man who taps into her darkest desires, but there's no longer anything holding her back. But yes, it says before everything she holds dear becomes threatened by her new found passion. So yeah, it's going to be one of those books. I'll give it a go. Again, it was only £1, so I thought, why not? I'll try it out. I've seen a couple of these types of books with these types of covers in Poundland before, so you know, you never know, maybe if I like it I will get another one. Does it say the author's name? It just says Velvet, the Black Door. I'm guessing Velvet maybe is the author's name. That's interesting. I don't know, but I will give it a go. So we're getting on to the last few things now. So lastly, I went to the Works and I picked up this book for my son. I have already read it to him about 100 times, and it's Harry McClary's Show Business. The Works are great. They had a really good deal on. It was 10 books for £10, so it's actually £1 a book. But I just picked up this one and it was the last one left, and yeah, I was like, I'm definitely going to pick this up because I really like the illustrations and my son likes animals and he absolutely loves this book. There's Harry McClary at the back. I think it's a series of books, so I might have to look out for, ooh, went blurry. So I might have to look out for some more of these. But yeah, he absolutely loves it. I've read it to him, like I said, 100 times. He thinks Harry McClary is very funny. It's about a little dog who is interrupting a cat show and causing mischief. So yeah, really, really nice children's book. I highly recommend the Works for children's books. They do really, really good variety. And if you go in there, you can even find some like top sellers. I've got Mega Mog books from there before. What's it, The Quiet Family, like the elephants, I found them in there before. What else have I found? Yeah, just, you can really find like The Bear Hunt. You can find some real classic children's books in there. And yeah, I just thought the illustrations were really nice on this one, so I picked it up. And then another book I picked up was Notes on a Nervous Planet. So this was originally £9.99. I got it for £4, and as you can see, I've already started reading this book and have been tabbing it up. I'm currently on page 81. But yeah, this is by Matt Haig. I recently, well not recently, it was last year, I read The Midnight Library by him and I really enjoyed it. And he does a lot of self-help books concerning, you know, anxiety, mental health, depression, and had a few of his books in there. But I was drawn to this one, Notes on a Nervous Planet, mainly because of what's been happening in the world at the moment, and especially with the news right now. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go, and I like his writing. There's nothing ever really groundbreaking in it, but I find his writing, like, I really relate to him. There are a few chapters in this, but I'm like, I really relate to everything you're saying in this. So yeah, I'm going to do a full review on this book when I finished it, but so far I'm enjoying it. And then my very last book is another one that I picked up for my son, and this was from a charity shop. And it was 90p, and it's Emily, and it's in the Thomas Tank Engine series. They had loads of these books in this series, but I tried to find ones that characters that he really likes, and he really likes the female trains. Rebecca, Naya and Emily are like his favourites, and Rosie. Yeah, he likes the ladies, so I picked him up this book to flick through. Like I said, it was like 90p, really good condition for a charity shop find, you know, thrift shop. And yeah, I'm sure he'll enjoy this. It's got some of his Tank Engine friends in there, and Thomas, and yeah, he loves Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, so I got that. So overall, really successful. I got 2 books for my son, a kind of self-help book. I got a couple thrillers, I would say like 2 like thrillery books, Tiger's Eye and The Promise, a couple of chicklet books, like rom-com-y chicklet books, and then some horror. I don't know what ones I'm going to read first, because I'm really excited about the James Herbert ones. I don't know, but I really want to read The Apartment, because that's really intriguing me. So yes, let me know what one you think I should start first. I'm kind of like in between the Fluke and The Apartment. I'm probably going to read these ones first, maybe. But yeah, let me know if you thought any of these sounded interesting and what you think I should go for. And I will be obviously reading and then reviewing these books as I do on my channel. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, then let me know what you thought of this kind of a vlog slash come shop with me video. I'm hoping to do some more if you guys enjoyed them, and hopefully I'll get more and more footage of me actually out and about shopping. I think that would be cool, because I really enjoy watching those videos, so that's kind of where I got the inspiration. I like watching come shop with me book vlogs. So yeah, that's kind of everything I have to say in this video. I hope it's not too long and I've not been rambling too much. But yeah, really excited about the books I got, really pleased, cannot wait to get into them. Let me know what you think I should start first, and that's pretty much all I have to say. So I'm gonna go, and as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys.